Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today guys, I've got another video on the Stocks FC platform. This is essentially a fantasy football game where you can use player stocks, so a bit like shares, that sort of principle, and then you can obviously get scores from those players in real life games like in normal fantasy football, and then if those players get enough points in that given game week, month or season, if they're in the team of the season, team of the month or team of the week, you will then be paid out in dividends in the form of Ethereum. So definitely worth checking out Stocks FC guys, links in the description. If you did want to have a look, check out the platform. I've done some more videos on the platform as well. Today I'm going to be concentrating on reviewing and rating all of the players that I've got in my portfolio currently and all the players that I'm planning on buying for my Stocks FC portfolio. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you do like this video, guys, and this content. Do let me know by hitting that like button below. Okay then guys, let's get stuck into it. So as I say guys, today I'm going to be reviewing and rating all the players I've currently got in my Stocks FC portfolio and the players that I will be buying when they are launched on the platform. I'm going to be rating them, giving a matrix rating here. So I'm going to give them a rating out of 5 stars in terms of their scoring suitability on the scoring matrix. This is based on statistics from all the games last season using the Stocks FC scoring matrix. I'll also then be giving them an overall Stocks FC rating. This is sort of an asset rating really overall of the Stocks FC player. So this is going to take into account of course the matrix suitability, but also the player's age, whether they've got international utility, and whether they've got European football next season as well. So in terms of the importance that I'm looking at in terms of the overall trends of the player, I am looking at the matrix suitability as being the most important thing. Obviously you need your players to score well to have any chance of picking up dividends, so to me that is the most important factor when you are looking at these stocks. The most second important factor I would say is that they've got European football in the upcoming season. Obviously if you're going to be competing for the team of the week, team of the month and team of the season rewards, you do want them to be playing as many games as possible. So this is probably going to be good, the European games for the team of the week. So obviously that player is potentially going to get 2 games as opposed to players that are not in European football who will only get 1 game. So I think European football is definitely an important factor here. And the third most important factor I'm going to be looking at is age and international utility. Obviously the age is always a good factor to factor in here. Obviously if the player's younger, then you potentially get more utility for that players in a few seasons. The other thing as well is that a lot of people on Stocks FC are probably going to be liking the younger players. So they're probably going to help the player's price. If the player's young, it's probably going to help the player's price as well. And as opposed to an older player, the price is more likely to fall as they get older. International utility is also an important factor, of course, for the team of the seasons again, team of the month, and team of the week. You also want to be having players that have got a good international team as well. You don't want anybody who's playing for maybe something like Peru or something like that, because they're not really going to be winning that many games or getting that higher points, I would say. So these are the factors I look for. I know people also look at the supply factor as well on Stocks FC. To be honest, I know that's potentially an important factor, but I don't really pay any attention to that. Because generally, the better players are going to have more shares or stocks in supply. That is probably a general rule there. There is probably going to be more supply of players that are better because there's going to be more players bought in the IPO for the better players. So to me, I think generally I'm just going to be picking up the best players that have got the matrix suitability and these other factors on screen here, because generally the better players will have more supply anyway, so I'm not really going to be worrying too much about the supply that a player has. Okay then guys, let's get on to all the players that I've got in my portfolio currently and the players I plan to buy and the ratings that I've given them in terms of the matrix suitability and the overall rating taking into account the European football, age and international utility. We'll be starting with each position, starting with goalkeepers, then defenders, then midfielders and forwards. And I'm also rating the players in terms of the overall matrix rating. So this rating here. So I'm going to be highlighting the players from sort of the lowest score to the highest score for each position. So then guys, let's get stuck into it, starting as I say with goalkeepers. So here we go then, we will start with the goalkeepers, like I say, starting off with the lowest trend rating. Doesn't mean it's a bad one, obviously all these players, they are ones that I am going to be looking to buy or already have in my portfolio. So the first one is Edison. Now he's got 3.5 stars out of 5 here. That is still a quality rating for a goalkeeper. Obviously he doesn't get a lot of shots on his goal generally, so he's not having to make that many saves, and when he does need to make saves, last season he wasn't the best really, so he was leaking a few goals and not making many saves when he was called upon. Overall Stocks FC rating is 5 out of 10, mainly attributed to his matrix rating and of course the international utility, because Alisson is number 1 for Brazil. But overall 5 out of 10, and I think he should do well next season. Next up we've got Alisson. He's not yet IPO'd as we know. I give him a 4.5 stars out of 5. World class rating. This rating is based on the stats from last season. And in terms of the Stocks FC asset, 7 out of 10. Very bullish on Alisson. Of course, got the international utility, European football as well with Liverpool next season. And his matrix suitability is looking really solid. And the number 1 pick in terms of goalkeepers, in terms of my portfolio, is Andre Onana of Manchester United. Obviously a new signing for them. 4.5 stars out of 5 here, which is an epic rating. This is of course based on his time as Inter Milan. He did make quite a lot of saves during games, kept a few clean sheets as well. And I expect him to probably have a similar scenario at Manchester United. The defence is not the best at the moment still, and they probably will have a few shots for Onana to hopefully save. Overall rating 8 out of 10 for Onana. Top pick for me is matrix suitability, European football as well next season of course. And he's not that old really, he is only 27, which is really young for a goalkeeper. So on to defenders now then guys. Let's move straight into it then. And the first player I've gone for is Andrew Robertson. Obviously, he has not been IPO'd yet. 3.5 stars out of 5, which is a quality rating in terms of the matrix suitability for the defender. 5 out of 10, should do well next season, I'd say. Decent defender for Liverpool, of course. European football as well. The international utility is a bit of a letdown though, playing for Wales. The other player I've gone for is Lisandro Martinez of Manchester United. No IPO for him just yet. 3.5 stars out of 5 for him, so quality rating again for a defender. Overall Stocks FC asset rating 7 out of 10, very bullish on Martinez. Of course, got the international utility with Argentina. He's also got European football as well, and he's still fairly young, so decent pick this one. Next up we've got Luke Shaw, also of Manchester United. World class rating for his matrix suitability, so he's got 4.5 stars out of 5 here. So again, 7 out of 10, so really bullish on Luke Shaw here. 7 out of 10, international utility, European utility as well, and a really good matrix suitability score as well for Luke Shaw. Next up we've got Ruben Diaz of Manchester City. 4 stars out of 5 for him, world class rating this. 8 out of 10, which makes him a top pick for Stocks FC. He's got the international utility with Portugal, and he's also got the European football as well, of course, with Manchester City, and a really good matrix suitability. Coming up next, we've got Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool. He's got 4 stars out of 5 in terms of his matrix suitability. World class rating this. And overall, Stocks FC asset rating 9 out of 10. Highly recommended this one. So he's obviously got the international utility, European football as well, and a really good matrix rating. Next up, we've got Kieran Trippier, who is one of the best matrix suitability defenders on the platform based on last season's stats. He's got the max 5 out of 5 here, which is a legendary rating. 9 out of 10 overall as well, highly recommended. International utility, European football as well, of course, next season with Newcastle. And of course, he's got a fantastic Matrix scores last season. So really good pick, this one. And the last player I've gone for is Trent Alexander-Arnold on Liverpool. No IPO yet. 4.5 stars out of 5. Very close to his 5-star rating there, Trent. And he probably should be pushing more towards that, I would say. And probably will do this season with Liverpool. Do expect better things from Liverpool. Epic rating still though for him. A 9 out of 10. Highly recommended. England international. European football. Suits the Matrix suitability perfectly. And he probably could make his way up to a 10 out of 10 here. Getting that 5 stars this season, I would say. So, on to midfielders then. First one I've gone for is Alexis McAllister of Liverpool. Midfielder for them, 3.5 stars out of 5. Quality rating in terms of his matrix suitability. Overall, 7 out of 10. Very bullish on him. He's still young, European football and international utility with Argentina. Casemiro's up next for Manchester United. 4 stars out of 5 and world-class rating for him. 7 out of 10. Very bullish on Casemiro. Brazil international, and of course got the European football. The only thing that's probably let it down his overall rating here is his age. Next up we've got Martin Odegaard of Arsenal, not IPO'd yet. 4.5 stars out of 5 though, epic rating here based on last season's stats. Overall as a Stocks FC asset, 8 out of 10. Top pick for me this one is young, international football, and he's also got the European football as well. In terms of the international team, it's probably not the best in Norway, but they can still get some decent scores, especially with Haaland up front for them as well, of course, so they can still thrash some of the smaller teams in Europe in qualifiers. Kevin De Bruyne is up next, 5 stars out of 5 for his matrix suitability, which is the top rating and had legendary status here for Kevin De Bruyne. He's also got a Stocks FC rating of 9 out of 10. Highly recommended this one. It would be a 10 out of 10 of course if he was a little bit younger. Another quality option in the Man City midfield is Jack Grealish. 4.5 stars out of 5 here for his matrix suitability, so epic rating there. And 9 out of 10, another highly recommended asset. Still young, plays with top side, European football and international utility. Phil Foden is a similar story, 4.5 stars out of 5 for him as well, epic rating there. Obviously he's young, England international and European football, 9 out of 10, highly recommended rating. And Bruno Fernandes is another one that's a really good choice. Midfielder for Manchester United, of course, 4.5 stars out of 5, epic rating there. If Manchester United can improve their form this season, which I do expect them to do, then he could probably be a 5 out of 5 here, which would boost him up to the 10 out of 10 Stocks FC rating. But at the moment, he is 9 out of 10. He's got the club football, brilliant matrix suitability, and of course an international for Portugal. So another highly recommended midfielder. Now on to the forwards then finally, guys. So we'll start with Harry Kane. Now his future is still up in the air at the moment. We don't know where he's going to be going. I'm certainly hoping he sounds for Manchester United, being a Manchester United fan. You never know, there might be a last minute twist in this tale before the transfer window closes. 4.5 stars out of 5 though in terms of his matrix suitability, so epic rating there. This is probably attributed mostly obviously to the amount of goals that he does score. Stocks FC rating overall is a 6 out of 10, so bullish on this one. Now this score has obviously been affected with his not having European football with Tottenham. But of course, if he does move to Manchester United, this score will then be boosted to an 8 out of 10 rating. So that would mean that I'll probably look to buy some more stocks in Harry Kane if he does get the move to a European club football team next season. So yeah, could be an interesting one to look out for this one. Mohamed Salah is up next, 4.5 stars out of 5 in terms of his matrix suitability, so epic rating there for Salah. Stocks FC rating overall, 8 out of 10. Top pick for me. He's got the European football, brilliant matrix suitability, and he should get some good scores at international level as well in some of the qualifiers for the World Cup. So I think he's a really good pick here, 8 out of 10. Next up we've got Gabriel Martinelli of Arsenal as a forward for them. 4.5 stars out of 5. Epic rating here for Martinelli. Stocks FC rating, give him an 8 out of 10. So top pick for me. He's obviously young. European football next season. International is being let down a little bit in terms of this rating, because he's not really a regular starter for Brazil just yet. Another good choice is Marcus Rashford of Manchester United, a forward for them. 4.5 stars out of 5 here, so another epic rating. He did score a lot of goals last season. We'll see if he can reproduce that form this season as well. But of course, he's young, European football, international for England as well. 9 out of 10, highly recommended this one, especially if he can continue the form from last season. Another good choice, of course, is Erling Haaland of Manchester City. He's 5 out of 5 in terms of the matrix suitability. Obviously, he's banging in loads of goals for Manchester City. This has really boosted up this score, so legendary rating for Haaland. Stocks FC rating overall, 9 out of 10, highly recommended. The only thing that's let him down a little bit is being a Norway international. I don't think they're always going to be getting the top scores in the international stage, so that's let his score down a little bit. But apart from that, everything else is going for him. European football, plays for the top side, and of course he's still young, and his matrix suitability is fantastic with the number of goals he does score. And another player that's a good option is Saka of Arsenal. Now, he may be a midfielder on the platform. I've put him down as a forward here on Stocks FC. We will see what he's classified as, but I think it probably makes sense that he's a forward. We'll see what happens there. But in terms of measure suitability, 5 out of 5 for Saka. He's getting goals and assists, really involved with the attacking play for Arsenal, so a legendary rating for him. In terms of the Stocks FC asset, 10 out of 10. The max score, blue chip for me, is young, international football and European football, and a fantastic matrix score last season with Arsenal. And another 10 out of 10 is Gabriel Jesus of Arsenal. 5 out of 5 matrix suitability here, legendary rating. This is based on the games he started last season for Arsenal. He was banging in the goals when he was playing. Fantastic choice here. We'll see how he gets on this season. And in terms of the international utility, he's got the Brazil international utility. Of course, he's got the European football as well. He's young, and the matrix suitability is fantastic for Jesus with the goals and assists. 10 out of 10, another blue chip choice. So that was all my players rated and reviewed, guys. All the players that I'm going to be buying in my Stocks FC portfolio. Some I've already got, of course, but I'm also going to be looking out for the other players that I've got my eye on in my Stocks FC portfolio. So buy them when the IPOs are available. So that was it, guys. That was all the players that I'm planning on buying and the players that are currently in my portfolio as well. All rated and reviewed. Let me know what you think of these ratings. Do you think they're right? Do you think some of them should be a little bit higher, a little bit lower? And also let me know about the overall thoughts on this video in the comment section below. If you did like this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want to sign up to Stocks FC, you can do that using the link in the description. Okay then, guys, thanks for watching as always. I'll see you again on the next video.